Hendrik, a very good evening and thanks for your time. So I suppose that is the question, is what has gotten into our school pupils that this has become a way to deal with their disputes, that they have such levels of anger that you can actually drive a sharp object into a friend or a fellow pupil?
Yeah, it is true that, the high level of violence in schools has now reached alarming proportions. And, it is most unfortunate that, parents are no longer actively involved in the discipline of children because of the wide range of laws, that government has already come up with. The recent one being, that spanking a child is outlawed. And of course, we also know that, since corporal punishment was abolished in schools about 23 years ago, teachers do not know what else. They don't have any alternative to discipline our children. That is why things are going out of the way. We now see a lot of killings happening in our schools. And we believe that, if government does not take a position, these matters will only be worse. We'll only expect our prisons to be full as a result of learners who are highly ill-disciplined, coupled with the recent one, of course, of the, the grade 9s who might find themselves out of school very soon. So,
Hendrik, just to clarify, you mentioned a little earlier there that parents not being allowed to discipline, what we see, the laws around spanking at the moment. Do you believe that was a wrong move, that keeping that sort of form of discipline at home would prevent such incidents? I'm just curious.
Well, we must agree that, discipline starts at home. We always say that charity begins at home, and it is the responsibility of parents to make sure that they raise responsible children who can be able to make a meaningful contribution in society. Unfortunately, as it stands now, the majority of parents have already left that responsibility to teachers. In actual fact, it has been happening for quite a number of years, where parents expect teachers to be the ones who discipline children. Of course, there are parents who, play an active role in ensuring that they discipline their own children. But what I'm trying to say is that it's not only the issue of discipline in schools. It's a broader issue, societal issues such as the abuse of drugs. Children are highly ill-disciplined. They use drugs. Some of them arrive late at home, and if there is no proper parenting at home, these matters can only escalate. Well, and that is where, yes.
Hendrik, these incidents have raised just a couple of questions. I mean, we know the one in Isipingo in Durban. It's alleged that the two girls were fighting. One of them was stabbed in the chest with a knife. Mossel Bay, we understand that the pupil there died in hospital after being stabbed by 3 others at that school. The Gauteng case, and I've heard some interviews around this and heard some updates on this, saying that these 2 boys, the one who was the victim and the one who's the suspect here, were actually friends. They grew up together, and they maintain, and others who were witnesses say that they were playing, but they were playing with scissors. So the question here is, in the one case, what are pupils doing, carrying a knife to school? And secondly, yes, we know pupils have to carry scissors in the other cases, carry scissors for whatever work they have to do, but why are they unsupervised, and what makes them think it's okay to play around with a pair of scissors?
Well, firstly, it is because of the lack of safety generally in schools. If you start at the gate of every school, especially in Gauteng province, you will find that there are security guards, some of whom happen to be females, who are really, who have not been trained, even males who have not been trained, and they don't know how to handle issues of safety. Learners get into schools, they're not searched. They get into schools with weapons, with drugs, dagga, and so on and so forth, and they are not searched. And, even where searching takes place, it's only sporadically. Once in a while, some of the principals will call the police to come into schools and so on, but it's not happening. It's not a regular thing. And, that actually puts the lives of each and every child in danger. That is why those who have money opt to take out their children from especially public schools and take them into private schools because of generally there is no safety. And, like I've already indicated, these are issues that emanate from communities. Our communities, as you know, we experience a lot of crime in communities, violence which comes from communities, which spiral into the terrain of education. And if something drastic is not done to arrest this matter, we will only see these matters escalating. That is why we are calling on government, to make sure that they come up with an integrated approach. For example, the Department of Basic Education alone will not be able to resolve these challenges. We need a multidisciplinary approach where the Department of Police, the Department of Education and others are able to come on board and look at these matters holistically to make sure that at the end of the day we create a safe environment for learning and teaching.
We need stricter controls both at home and at school, but I'm not sure that putting your child in a private school is going to make that situation any better because, I think the violence has perpetuated through every school gate at the moment. Thank you very much, Hendrik Makaneta from Education for Social Justice.